Hey, hey! Welcome to Generation Rise, the podcast with Marcus Bell. I'm so excited for you guys to be here with me today, and I appreciate you for stopping by and checking me out. Listen, man, I've been really wanting to talk to you guys and get in front of you guys to talk about some of the things that I've had on my mind, man. And this is really aimed at my youth, particularly my young athletes out there, man. And this podcast is really designed to kind of take some of the real world things that we're seeing when you look on ESPN, the headlines, or whatever else you're doing on the internet, and really addressing some of the issues that we see out there and how it can help you learn to get to where you want to go. So for my first podcast, man, there's a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of weeks that I really just wanted to talk about briefly, because I think that it's really important for you guys to understand the importance of discipline, man. So the first story that I want to talk to you about, it happened a few weeks ago, and it was relating to a Seattle Seahawks football player. Okay? Now, this guy was an undrafted free agent, which means out of college, he did not get drafted by a team, but the Seattle Seahawks welcomed him in. They invited him in. They gave him a small signing bonus, I think of maybe like $2,000 or $3,000. So he wasn't making a ton of money. But the key in the whole equation is that he got an opportunity. The Seattle Seahawks gave him an opportunity to come work for and earn a spot on their team. Now, the part of the story that kind of gets you messed up is that he got this opportunity, and as you guys know, we are in the midst of a pandemic, so everybody is creating little bubbles so that they can continue to operate and do the things that they want to do. So Seattle Seahawks has a little bubble at a hotel where kind of just the team is, and they have very strict restrictions on who they can have around the team and things of that sort. This undrafted rookie free agent who got the opportunity that he had been working for his whole life, an opportunity to play for an NFL team, he brought in a girl to the team hotel. Not only did he bring in a girl to the team hotel, he tried to dress her up in Seahawks gear so that nobody would detect that she was not a part of the team. He got caught on security cameras because, as you guys probably know, in hotels there are cameras everywhere. And I can tell you from personal experience, each NFL team has their own security detail that watches cameras to make sure the guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing and things of that sort. So he got caught and immediately got released from the team. Also meaning he got cut from the team, meaning he no longer has that opportunity. So he couldn't sacrifice and discipline himself for a few weeks for training camp from the girl, so that he lost his opportunity. He lost an opportunity to fulfill his dream. Now, as far as I know right now, which is a few weeks later, he still has not been able to get picked up by another team. He has not been able to revitalize the opportunity that he already had in front of him for his lack of discipline, his lack of sacrifice. Man, I'm telling you, if you guys want to be successful, one of the key things with being successful is being able to discipline yourself. You have a dream that you want to fulfill, you have something that you want to do, you're going to have to exercise discipline in doing that. He didn't exercise discipline, so he lost out on an opportunity to not just make the team and fulfill his dream, but to also, if he was able to make the team, he would have been able to make a good amount of money to be able to support his family. Now, I'm not saying that he can't make money in other ways, or that he can't get another opportunity, or that he won't get another opportunity. But these type of things have a way of sticking with people, particularly in the climate that we're in right now with the pandemic and how everybody is very super cautious of the people that you're having around you, because people are getting sick and people are dying and all of those type of things. But he couldn't sacrifice his fleshly desires for the opportunity of his lifetime. Let that sink in. He had the opportunity of his lifetime. Something that he probably has been working for and sweating and bleeding and crying for, and it slipped through his fingers because he lacked the discipline to follow the rules of the team. In a similar story, there's a guy for the Houston Rockets. This happened like a week or two ago. Guy for the Houston Rockets, he's the sixth man on the team. If you know anything about basketball, you know the sixth man is the first guy off the bench. He might not be a starter, but he's the next guy coming in. Oftentimes, if you're a sixth player and you're that good, you're probably closing out the games too. So he's getting a ton of action in the game. He's not at the end of the bench. He's not just sitting there. He's a contributor, an actual contributor to the team, to a playoff team, to a team that's chasing a championship right now. And this guy, I can't say that he snuck a girl into the room, but he had a girl in his hotel room for more time than what an unauthorized, that's the other key. She was unauthorized to be there. So an unauthorized woman in his room for hours. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't be serious. You can't sacrifice for the championship, for what you are pushing towards, to get a championship. Your team is down in the playoff series. You are the sixth man, and you are suspended. You get sent out of the NBA bubble because you can't discipline yourself and sacrifice enough for yourself and for your team to put the team above yourself for a couple more weeks. He can't play anymore. The team goes out and they lose the next game out of the playoffs. Now, that's not to say that they wouldn't have lost had he been playing, but that is to say that he could have contributed to his team to put them in a better position to win, to put them in a better position to continue to push towards that championship, that NBA championship that they all wanted, that they all had pushed for, sweated for, bled for, sacrificed for. But he let his own selfish desires get the best of him, and that hurt not just him, because it definitely hurt him because he got kicked out of the bubble, which means he couldn't come back in and play no more, but it hurt his team. It hurt the guys that he had been, going to war with for the last couple of months. Everybody is sacrificing to be there. Guys in the NBA bubble, most of them don't have their family there. They don't have their friends there. They don't have their wives and their kids and all of that type of stuff. But he couldn't continue to sacrifice and discipline himself for a little bit longer so that they can continue to pursue the championship that they have been working for. The pinnacle of any NBA team is that NBA championship. He couldn't sacrifice and discipline himself for long enough to continue to see that journey out, whether they won or lost. Guys, listen to me. Listen to me. You have to discipline yourself in anything that you want to do. You have to exercise discipline. You have to have that character to exercise the discipline to get to where you want to go. But not just to get to where you want to go, but to stay where you want to go. It's one thing to get there. It's another thing to have staying power to be there. These are the type of things that are red flags to coaches, general managers, employers, things of that stuff. If you cannot show that you can discipline yourself, then people will start to look at you differently. People will not hold you in as high regard. People will not put you at the top of the list of the people that they want to come in when they need help. So guys, you have to discipline yourself. I say it all the time. Talent can take you places that your character cannot sustain you. There's no doubt that in both of these situations, the guys had talent. Whether you're drafted or not, if you get invited to an NFL camp, you have to have some talent because they're not just bringing anybody in. You make it to the NBA and you are actually in the rotation of that NBA team, the sixth man, you have a ton of talent. But discipline is a part of your character. And if you can't have the discipline to sustain you in there, then your journey to your dream will be short-lived. This applies to anything. This applies to your job. This applies to wanting to play sports. This applies to wanting to be a singer, an actor, or entertainer. This applies to anything in life. If you can't discipline and sacrifice beyond yourself, you will not be able to have the success that you really want. Discipline, sacrifice, those are essential for success. Essential for success. Use these examples, and there are plenty others out there, to learn from them so you don't have to make the same mistakes. One of the things I've always tried to do is watch other people and see what they've done, see what's worked for them, see what has not worked for them, and then figure out how to use those situations in my life to help propel me forward. So when you start reading headlines and you start seeing news clips or YouTubes or Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is that you watch to consume information, pay attention to the storylines and then see how you fit in that picture. And then use that to say, hey, I don't want to experience that, so I'm going to use this to make wiser decisions in my future. Each of you guys has greatness in you. Each of you guys have a purpose. Each of you guys have a destiny, whether that's in sports or out of sports. But in anything that you do, you're going to have the character to sustain you wherever you can go. You can be the most talented person in the world. There are tons of talented athletes that are not playing in the professional ranks. Oftentimes it's because of their character that can't sustain them in where they want to go. Discipline is a part of that. Be sure to exercise wisdom and the discipline to not just get to where you want to go, but to sustain you where you want to go. Guys, I'm telling you, you guys are awesome. If nobody's ever told you that, let me be the first to tell you that you are awesome, that you have greatness within you. When I was growing up, there was a saying that we said all the time in basketball and football. It says pressure bust pipes. Pressure bust pipes. And it essentially meant that if you put the right amount of pressure on somebody, they'll fall apart because they can't handle the pressure. Right? Do you know what else pressure does? Pressure makes diamonds. Research it. There is pressure required to make a diamond. So use whatever situation you are in, whatever struggle, whatever turmoil, whatever it is that's stopping you from getting to your goal and getting to your dream, use that pressure to polish you as a diamond and go shine in the world. Guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I hope and pray that you guys will come back again for my next podcast. I'm going to try to keep them relatively short and to the point, but hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some information, and we'll be able to discuss some topics and situations that I'm observing from sports and beyond to help you guys get to where you want to go. God bless you. I love you. Go be great.